So this meeting, it's really coming down to crunch time. A couple of weeks ago, we were all thinking this is going to be a pretty routine meeting. It seems like all the ducks were lined up in a row for a rollover of these these cuts, the 7.7 million barrels per day cuts that are in place right now. Seems like the fundamentals were pointing towards a rollover of those cuts, Dan, as you mentioned. But now we're seeing some cracks in the foundation. And you mentioned a few of the countries there, the UAE, Kazakhstan, Iraq also complaining about its quota, saying that it's getting tired of the one-size-fits-all approach to OPEC cuts. Now it's got to be said, it's not unusual for there to be a little bit of performance theater leading up into these meetings. You got 22 countries in this OPEC plus accord. That's close to 24 energy ministers, close to 24 personalities, close to 24 countries with different agendas and priorities. So yeah, it's not unusual for some of these countries to try and lay out their positions, lay out their negotiating starting points before the meeting, maybe float some trial balloons out there. But I think what's really striking, at least to me, is some of the stridence of some of these calls. Iraq, we know that Iraq has long struggled with its quota, but them saying that they are tired of the one-size-fits-all approach, that's quite striking from them to say something that direct about OPEC's management. The UAE, which has been a long-standing ally of Saudi Arabia, the OPEC kingpin in this, and they're talking about quitting OPEC. That's quite, that's another striking aspect of these talks. And then, separate to the deal, of course, you've got the geopolitics, the assassination of the Iranian nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh. That adds another layer of complexity to these talks. So a lot of moving parts, as always, but OPEC is an organization that likes to have things kind of, preordained a little bit, get all the negotiating done in private before these meetings, and then kind of have the meeting have result assured. But what we're hearing is that there's still a lot of talking to be done, a lot of dissatisfaction, a lot of fatigue among a lot of members with having put in these cuts for so long because of COVID. And, with these vaccines perhaps around the corner, some of these countries aren't willing to maybe play ball for much longer.